Any else with the big wins? Ali, welcome. Good to see you here from my Laurel Langmeyer, the Millionaire Maker community. Go for it.
Well, thank you. I see myself at the summit of Machu Picchu, and it was a culmination of feelings I wanted to have, and and so I have an opportunity to go with an amazing, iconic group and train with them through the years. So I'm doing that next May.
Mm, that's super. Love that. Thank you
So
for sharing that. So
no, I'm considering it already done. It's my it's my
you
quantum.
have to, yeah, like quantum leap it. Like if you remember the last chapter, right? Focus on ends rather than on means. You got to take your mind there, imagine it, and live in the feeling. And once you capture that feeling, if you're not for like, you gotta have some kind of euphoria. You gotta have some kind of excitement about it. You gotta go for it. And if you're not used to it, it might feel weird and you might feel uncomfortable, but you gotta go there and you gotta have that aiming point, right? Even though if it's a one thing. That was the last chapter, right? Focus on the ends. Um, and as you do, it's gonna pull towards you more and more, right? This is what this chapter said. I actually highlighted few things in it. Um, just keep thinking where you're gonna land. Okay, so that was the last chapter. So if you are new here, welcome. We are reading U Square by Price Pritchett, and we're getting close to the end. And I want some of you to remind me at the end of the session that I'm gonna mention the name of the next book. It came to me during the week, and that was one of the biggest wins. And I'm gonna mention that at the end of this one, so we can start preparing and get the book. If you need to get the book, you don't have to. You can just read online, as I'm gonna share with you. But I already figured out what's the book gonna be. We will do about 2 lessons today. We will share the reading, and I want you to be here and present. Doesn't matter what you're doing, and you might not need the whole 2 chapters. You might need just one idea. Like you gotta focus on that goal. The reason you're here, right? You want to solve a problem. I mean, I know that's why you're here. There's something you want, and you're not getting it. And I want you to use this to get closer to it. If you've been coming around and not participating and not taking action and not putting anything in the WhatsApp group, not sending me emails, you're withdrawing, right? I want you to take the action. You can tell who's taking the action. You could tell who's studying. So instead of withdrawing away if you're not getting results, I want you to come closer. Like get closer to me. Start taking action. Start asking questions. Like think of the goal, right? You're either getting away from it or getting closer to it. So you want to get closer to it. You don't get closer to it by being quiet. The answers will come. Doesn't matter if you don't have results now. So start reading, start taking action, start asking questions, being more inquisitive. And even if it's gonna feel like a stupid, dumb question, even it's gonna feel like, is this really working? What am I really doing here? That's the beginning of you becoming more aware. Okay. That's the thing. Like, so many of you, I could see the results, not just because you're posting online and stuff, but I can tell from the feeling, and that's the gift, right? The gift of the discipline and awareness. You start feeling how others are doing. So, so this is a chapter this time. The first one that we're going to read: rely on unseen forces. Okay, so I'd like somebody to read that has never read, and I want you to read with like poise. I want you to read as deep of a voice and slow so we can get it. And you can read one paragraph, two or three, or a page, and you say pass to somebody else, or you can read the whole 2 pages. So who that has never read or hasn't read for a long time that would like to kick us off with this lesson from Price Pritchett on U Square, rely on unseen forces? Elizabeth, I think you haven't read for a while. Sabrina hasn't read for a while. Kim, welcome back. We missed you for a week or two. You were celebrating your anniversaries and families as well. So welcome back. Elizabeth, are you able to read?
Yes.
See
I
what I
think
mean? I could tell she's amazing.
rely on unseen forces. Improving your performance by an order of magnitude U squared can sound unrealistic if you think of it as something you have to do all by yourself, but you don't. Forget the idea that you should be able to see tangibly and in full view all the resources necessary to leverage your performance so dramatically. There are resources you can access that cannot be seen, and they are far greater and more powerful than the resources you might readily observe. Absence of evidence is not evidence of their absence. Think of an iceberg where you see only the tip of what's really there. Just as real though out of sight are invisible resources ready to make a profound difference in what you can achieve. All you have to do is open up and let them in. Quantum leaps are merely the process of using yourself and your world differently, thus allowing other possibilities that exist to actually materialize. Your willingness to make a quantum leap is the enabler. You do not achieve your dreams, your full potential through your own singular struggle. As mentioned earlier, neither raw effort nor sheer willpower is the answer. Trying as hard as you can will fall short of taking you as far as you're capable of going. You must take advantage of the support systems you can't see. I want to pass to John.
Sure. In a sense, making the quantum leap is like playing bridge. You don't bid your hand alone. Your bidding is also based on the power of your partner's cards. You don't really get to see those cards until it's time to play them, but you trust that they will bring valuable strength to your own hand. Unseen are phantom powers that cannot be fully explained. Maybe they strike you as rather mystical phenomena, but the truth is they will make amazing contributions to your efforts. These unseen forces seem to operate through your subconscious mind, mental imagery, intuition, and luck. You might be hit with a flash of inspiration during a moment of solitude. A creative solution to a problem may come to you in a dream. A breakthrough idea can flash through your mind while you're visualizing your goal. Somehow the resources you need just seem to appear by coincidence. Paint a vivid picture in your mind for these forces to know precisely what you want. In one way or another, the unseen forces will dazzle you with their impact. Count on it. Quantum leaps come easy when you plug into this remarkable power source. You don't have to understand it totally in order to use it, just as you don't have to comprehend the intricate physics of electrical energy to flip a lamp switch and flood the room with light. When you focus constantly on a clear picture of what you want to accomplish and move toward it confidently, the unseen forces will rally to your support. These unknowns, these invisible resources, are the most powerful factors available to assist you in making the quantum leap to U squared. Just as real, though out of shape, are invisible resources ready to make a profound difference in what you can achieve.
Beautiful.
Gotta remember that, right?
Yeah, we have to remember that. Let me see what's happening with my Zoom screen here. Here we go. Am I out of sharing? I'm out of sharing now, right? Yeah. Oh man. Perfect. So, what is he telling us? What's this evidence, absence of evidence? What's like absence of evidence is not evidence of their absence. I think that was the first line that I underlined. Did that speak to anybody differently?
This is where the faith component comes in, right? I mean, you have to believe that for this to happen. You have to believe in the unseen forces. And then they manifest.
Okay.
This is how people.
So if we're not seeing, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think this is where people stumble onto this inadvertently. They just start acting, and then, God comes to meet, universe comes to meet. And I think those that don't have the information, or maybe even wrote about this information, they kind of just discovered it by taking action.
Okay.
For me, it's about faith. It's about having blind faith. Again, he's talking about these unseen forces. And, it really, this piece or this chapter really has me thinking about the importance of our vision and staying connected to it. In whatever way, because we're all creative beings, in whatever way we need to stay connected to our vision. You know, I was in another conversation earlier this week, and we were talking about actually having a visual representation, because we all have different learning styles, having a visual representation of what how can we bring our vision more to life? And will that help us connect more deeply to it? And then also detaching from the outcomes and not really, kind of moving away from the logic of it and just moving forward. And I think that's what I got when she was saying it was more about the action, and when
Mhm.
we're taking that action, the answers are coming to us. So that's what I was getting.
I love that. I love that. I always, when I work with my one-to-one clients, when you take the action, you're telling the universe you're ready. I'm taking the action. I have the faith and I have the belief, and I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I don't know if it's the right thing, but I know at that moment that's the best thing I could do, and I'm doing my best. So that tells the universe I'm ready for more. And as long as we don't quit, I'm gonna keep going in that direction and making a big action. So, Carrie, please go ahead, Carrie. Is there audio? Oh,
Your audio.
audio is not coming through.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Sorry about that. I futz with my settings and I have different external mics and cameras that I use depending where I am. Anyway, I just finished reading The Power of Positive Thinking, which is about living better through Christianity. I am not necessarily a Christian, however, I do believe in our divine creators and that we are uniquely made in their image. So I hear an echo here as they are our creators. We are also creators in our own world, out in the world, and that we are in a divine partnership. Now, whether you believe in God, the big God, or gods, plural, or divinities or guides, if you have some level of faith that these unseen forces and faith and or experience, depending on who you are, you could take the case that we are always being divinely guided. And if you put your faith in the ultimate divine creative force, that particular one has nothing but our best interest at heart. And I say this having worked in spirituality all the way from being a witch to now somebody who believes very devoutly in our divine creators and having messed with things that I had no business messing with. I can say with some certainty in my own life that when I align myself with the highest possible divine power, that they want you to win. And so you can just take the case that they're going to guide you that way.
Yeah, and that takes a stretch in belief. It takes an accepting that idea.
Yeah,
Right?
I think you said, I love what you said, a stretch in belief, and what my brain went is like, that is a perfect definition for faith. It's a stretch in belief.
Yeah, I mean, I got to take you a place, right? And the beauty of it, once you expand, you don't go back. If you stick with it, if you do the routine and if you do the repetition, and if you stay at that constant, vivid view of what you want and having that one-to-one conversation with the highest spirit, that light will light, and that flash of inspiration come if you ask, and if you ask at ease with that expansion of faith. Cool. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I want to say one more thing for anybody
Yeah.
there's, I'm only now reading the Bible for the first time in my life, and there's this beautiful, just a couple words that say, like, have faith. I'm going to butcher this, but it's faith the size of a mustard seed.
Mm.
That's enough. And so I think we get caught up sometimes in needing to have this big faith with a capital F and like really like going to throw myself off the top of the building and trust that God will catch me. When really you just need to have faith, a grain of mustard seed. And every time I feel like I'm lacking in faith, I just think of how small a mustard seed is. And they are itty bitty tiny. And I hold on to that and I feel my faith growing through that. And to your point, it is through action. Having faith up in my head and then not taking the actions is totally inauthentic to saying that I am faithful, that I will be supported.
Yeah,
So
that's
thank you.
right. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Zach.
Yeah, so Kamal, what stood out to me here was a breakthrough idea can flash through your mind whilst you're visualizing your goal. Somehow the resources you need just seem to appear by coincidence. And that happened also whilst I was actually visualizing my goal to becoming stronger and building muscles. And then all of a sudden, well, it wasn't all of a sudden. Of course, the creative forces were working on my behalf. My daughter entered me in this prize draw to win a session with the coach, and I won it. And then after that session with the coach, I mean, it's just been such amazing. I can't believe it. And then with this book as well, quantum leaping, right? So I'm quantum leaping in my physical health and in my fitness, but also at the same time with the business as well. So whilst I was visualizing my goal for my business, an inspiring idea came to me to start a bi-monthly webinar, which had actually helped me to earn my trip to Italy. So I'm going to Italy in September.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's how it starts, right? And it's just gonna grow. And as long as you don't drop the ball, as long as you just keep building on it, it's just gonna these flashes of inspiration, these flashes of moments of solitude when you're in that vivid imagination of it, it's gonna open up. So that's
But the
it's
thing is,
just
oh,
we hold things back, right? We limit the growth because we're physical. We're
yeah.
not
And the thing
spiritual
is, it's
all of
worked the other way around as well, because the coach said to me, and this was such an amazing story. He was not supposed to be at the gym where I am because that he has to travel 1.5 hours to get there. But he now realizes that he had to be there to meet me because of the opportunity that I brought to him, which he now
Yeah.
has come on board on the business with me.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And remember, you said it earlier, and I just want to make sure everybody got it. When you start acting in this way, and then you become more aware, you'll start noticing coincidences or things that are making sense. You'll start seeing, it's calling
Yeah.
connecting the dots. You can't connect them forward, it's going to be backwards, but you will start seeing more of them, right? More and more and
Yes.
more of them. So,
And more
uh,
synchronicities as well, Kamal. An
yeah.
amazing synchronicity happened today in the gym where I met a school friend that I went to school with at the age of 11. And I
Oh,
recognized her in the gym, and she couldn't believe it. She had tears in her eyes when we both cried because we met each other after 40 years.
Wow. Wow.
And I was like,
amazing.
what is the coincidence of that? Or what's the, I mean, that was just mind blowing. And the coach couldn't believe it as well.
You
Yeah.
know, when Zanette was talking, to me, one word sums it up, and it's alignment.
Yeah.
So when we're in alignment with our vision, I think that's when we are seeing those synchronicities.
Mhm.
It's when somehow the energy, we get disconnected from the source, if you will, whatever that might be for us,
Yeah.
is when, we may be in a space of maybe not being aligned. And I love what Carrie was saying in regards to the scripture, and having faith at the size of a mustard seed. For me, it's also about taking action, like James Clear reminds us about the 1%. A lot of times we think it's about massive action, and it's not about massive action. It's about taking the right action,
Yeah.
so I love that. So that, thank you.
Oh, Kimberly, but I just want to say it was such an amazing moment. It excited me so much when I saw her walking past. I'm like, I know her. And when I called out to her, she said, "Know you?" And I said, "Yes, from Kingsbury High School." Well, because my name was Kieran. I said, "Kieran," she couldn't believe it. She said to me, "I thank you so much for recognizing me." And we exchanged numbers and we're going to keep in touch. So it's beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. So, vivid picture. In this chapter, it says, clear picture, know how it feels, get closer to it by attracting it to you, and the answers will come. Now, here's the kicker in this, and he says it in here, one of the lines. Each and every one of us, he says, your willingness to make a leap, your willingness to make a quantum leap is the enabler. So it's not by hard work. It's not by doing the same thing that you've been doing. And if you've been doing the same thing for a long time, it's time to change. It's time to really change the way you're doing things. Your willingness to make a quantum leap is the enabler. Enabler for what? Like it's like almost like a question. It says you do not achieve your dreams, your full potential through your own singular struggle. You're doing it too much by yourself. You need the mastermind. You need the group. You need outside expansion to pull you. Your paradigm, your results right now are your paradigm. And you want this big thing. You can't struggle on your own. It's too much. That's why poor people stay poor for a long time. They're loving people, they're nice people, do a lot of things, but they stay poor because they don't know this stuff. You must take advantage of the support available to you. And if you don't, you're not ready. And you have to be willing to go there. So this is kind of what I'm getting out of this chapter. Anybody else on this lesson before we move to the second one? Okay, not all right. Cool beans. So let me share the screen. Let me check the chat quick to make sure. Oh, it's big. Nancy, I couldn't read. Oh, you put a verse from the Bible. That's awesome. The mustard seed. And it's also, if you guys notice, actually it's on the hat right here. See that? That was the coincidence of the thought. Like this is amazing. Everything is on purpose, right? No, nothing just happens. What are the chances that I have this right here in the car? So cool. Next chapter from U Squared. Choose a different set of risks. All right. Choose a different set of risks. And please remind me, I gotta tell you the name of the new book at the end of this, okay? What we're gonna get into because we're way past the halfway point, and I'm gonna give you 1 or 2 weeks to get the book. So here we are. Who wants to read? Who hasn't read yet?
I'll read.
All right, please go ahead.
Choose a different set of risks. Going for the quantum leap feels chancy. The risks hit you as rather apparent and may be quite threatening, but you must stack them up against the hidden risks you accept when you decide to live with the status quo. Ask yourself what you're risking if you do not go for the quantum leap. The risk is that you won't get what you really want out of life. You've got to understand that you can never escape risk. It's not something you can decide to live with or without. Something is always at stake. You can only decide which risks to take. Whether you choose to go for the quantum leap or to follow your usual routines, You are putting something on the line. So choose carefully. And don't kid yourself with the idea that playing it safe by living with the status quo gives you the best odds. That may be the surest way of losing. Quantum leaps do mean that to some degree, you must move beyond the zone of familiarity, security, and comfort. But you can make the jump to U squared without being reckless or impulsive. Pass, Zanette.
Yes. Frankly, making a quantum leap is not mere gambling. It's not a crapshoot. You simply move on an opportunity you've been ignoring. You abandon your excuses. You reframe the problem. You take a completely different chance. A quantum leap is risking in a way that unmasks the truth, revealing how the U squared, or only thing of significance that has been standing in the way of you, is you. Risk believing in yourself. Risk acting on the assumption that you can succeed in making a quantum leap. Otherwise, the risk is that you will settle for only a fraction of what life has to give you. This isn't a case of taking a big chance. It's a matter of giving yourself a big chance. The major obstacle to overcoming the odds is never challenging them. Until you test the limits regarding what you can achieve, you can't truly know what your chances really are. And the odds change in your favor when you begin to challenge them. But if you try to minimize your vulnerability by avoiding a new set of risks, you kill your chances for a quantum leap. The biggest obstacle to overcoming the odds is never challenging them. Wow, this is so powerful. Can I share something
Yeah. Thank you.
about risk taking? In 2020, when lockdown started, if I tell you what had happened, I lost two members of my family in the space of 3 weeks, my dad and my brother. We lost two cars because of the 3.5 huge losses of income in the lockdown as well. And if that wasn't enough, I had my cat diagnosed with hyperactive thyroid. And if anybody knows what a cat with a hyperactive thyroid does, it cries all day. And with all this going around me, I decided to invest in mentorship with only the deposit money that I had, which was supposed to be for next month's rent. Now, I used my gut instinct that if I did not do this and did not take this risk, maybe along with the cars and the families and the income, we might even lose our home. I invested in mentorship, giving full faith to God and my mentor that I'm going to get that money back and much more. And I did that. That was one of the most bravest thing I had done in my life. And I know that risk taking can help you to quantum leap. And I'm here to tell the story. And I actually survived long COVID because of all of this. And there was one day I could have died. And I'm just blessed that I'm here to tell the story and maybe inspire other people. But yeah, risk taking, you got to be taking a risk.
Absolutely. Wow.
Gotta be taking a risk. That's so awesome. That's amazing. And
And
there you
my
are.
husband didn't know I invested in mentorship. Had I told him, he would have freaked out because he would have thought, where's that next month's rent going to come from? But I just had to trust myself and God, and that it wasn't that I was keeping it from him, but I just had the full faith that I'm going to do this and it's going to come back no matter what, with all the chaos that was happening around me as well. But yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, you got through it, and here it is. It's 10 times better, maybe even 100 times better,
Oh
and
yes,
you're
definitely.
making it with others.
I'm a
So
different person, Kamal.
yeah, so it's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. That's good. I'm sure this helped somebody here today.
Yeah.
Anybody else is gonna think of risk differently, or you're gonna look at what you're doing now and think, I'm not risking enough, but yet you don't want to be reckless, right? You don't want to be impulsive. This is not going to the casino and betting $5,000 on a roulette table, right? This is not playing poker. This is different thinking we're talking about here. The thing is, you have to get it that we're all born risk takers. We just stop taking risk because we are safely zooming in into retirement because of the programming. Go to school, get a job, pay some taxes, and just hopefully nothing happens to you. Most people wake up every day hoping nothing bad happens to them. Most people want to sit on a chair and just lazy boy on it, right? Like you want to rock the chair. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. But if you're sitting there miserable, thinking, why nothing good happens to me? If you're sitting there thinking, that new car, why am I not living in that new house? Why am I not driving that yacht? Why am I not going on fancy vacations? And you're beating yourself up. That is the thing. There's nothing wrong with just being poor and just eating apples and whatever the farm brings. But if you want these other things, if you want to have a different spicy kind of life, you're going to have to do things differently. You got to change the routine. The surest way of losing is what? What? Go ahead. Who's that? Was John?
Yeah, I was gonna say, the other perspective is a friend used to say, what do you tolerate? So what are we tolerating that's keeping us where we are? Right? What do we
Ah,
tolerate, right? Don't tolerate it, take the risk.
yeah, that's right. And he's also saying if you think you're not risking, you're risking anyways. The risk
Right.
that you won't get, right? Is the risk that you're risking your life anyways. Most people are sitting on the sidelines. They're just like what they call that. You're not the star in the movie. You're just the spare, kind of you're in the back seats. Like this
Yeah.
is you're getting one shot at this life. There's no other shot. Nobody's coming back. You're not a cat. You don't have 7 lives. Here's you. This is it. This is not just a game. This is the one. This is not just a pretend. This is real. It's not gambling. Ali, how do you see risk now?
Oh, I think the willingness to believe in the quantum leap, and it's interesting when I was becoming ready lately to welcome something new, and my whole life is up in the air right now. Uh, some some issues from childhood started coming and just inviting themselves up in a big way, and I think it's just to to help me become whom I'm envisioning, and to
Mm.
and to deal with this now that I can. And so I figured that is a sign. There's so many descriptions of that. I feel like it's just things ready to clean out for new things, for new experiences and new.
You gotta make room. You gotta make room for the good that you desire. Right? You have to clean the closet. Yeah, you have to empty the space to get the new stuff to happen. And most of us have a full life. Most of us have a full job. Most of us have a full thing, but we want new stuff. So you have to make room. You gotta let go. There's a chapter you need to read, Let Go and Let God. It's probably gonna help you, Ali. Let
Oh,
go and let God.
beautiful.
I'll, I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Nancy and then Kim. Thank you.
is I like
Nancy?
that he said that something is always at stake. So whatever you're doing, there's always going to be some risk. And that brings to mind the importance of having counselors and mentors and coaches so that you can evaluate and they can share their knowledge. It's a shortcut when you have mentors and coaches. And then two, the only thing of significance that has been standing in the way is you. That's a revelation that may be hard to swallow, but it is sure the truth.
Yeah, that is big, right? That's where we have to let go of that ego and get the mentor to see you and somebody from outside of your space. That's beautiful. And I like what Sabrina said in the chat. Tolerating is a decision too, to not rise. Beautiful, Sabrina. Kim.
Well, first, I want to say that I really appreciate John's question that he posed to the group, in regards to what we are tolerating, because speaking of taking up space, that takes up space that really requires us to focus on our vision. So I really appreciate him bringing that forward today. Um, you know, I think this idea of a quantum leap, I think for me, it just really has me thinking about other questions that I've been asking myself during this mastermind period, and really understanding that it requires new behaviors, right? And when we're talking about being a disruptor. And again, that mindset gets us every time, doesn't it? And for me, the aha is, looking at playing it safe, being on the comfy couch as a risk that we are choosing. We're choosing that. So, what do we want? Do we want to play it safe, sit on the comfy couch, and do what we've always done, or and have it lead to stagnation, or do we want the quantum leap, and are we willing to stretch our minds like a piece of chewing gum in order to think differently? And, again, it just has me really leaning into our conversation today, Kamal, in regards to doing exactly that. So thank you for holding space for all of us.
Absolutely. You're welcome. I mean, this is the risk, and this is actually the line that I was just about to read. Like, yeah, the risk that you won't get what you really want out of life is the risk. You gotta get what you want out of life. If you don't take the risk because you don't believe in yourself, or you have a case of poor self-image, or you want to just safely get into whatever you, that's the risk. The risk is that you won't get what you really want out of life. And even on the last line, he said, trying to minimize your vulnerability by avoiding a new set of risks will kill your chances of a quantum leap. So you can't even avoid it. Like, if it's calling on you, if your desire is telling you what you want and it's grabbing at you, and you don't take that quantum leap, you don't jump on the mentorship, you don't jump on somebody helping you, you don't go work with somebody that's doing what you want to do to help you, you don't buy the franchise, you don't buy that car, you're killing your chances. You're never going to experience that next thing, and you're going to stay in the same thing. So it's amazing chapter, like, choose a different set of risk, and we have to. We cannot be at the same risk. Like, if we look at our results tell the truth. I think that's the 2 newsletters I put out this weekend. Results tell the truth, and your paradigm is there. This chapter also talks about self-image as well. Lesson 5. If anybody has thinking into results, lesson 5. You better get that right. If you don't have that right, it's not gonna grow. So I did see a hand or a so that's most of my notes on this chapter. But I want you to know that if you don't take the risk, you're not giving yourself that chance. And if you're not understanding everything I'm talking about, or what Kim is talking about, or John, it's okay. You're here for a reason. You're here to learn and listen, and you may have to listen to this again. Yeah, as I've listened to it. Listen to it from Bryce Pritchett, from Bob, from the master classes. This is the 3rd time we go through it. So it doesn't matter if you're missing a lot of this. Don't feel that you're slow or something is wrong with you. No, there's nothing wrong with you. You just don't need it right now. You need whatever you need. You're searching for an answer to take you one step closer. Whatever is that one step, or 2 steps, or 10 steps. This should invite you and inspire you to do something. And if it doesn't, you're not paying attention. You're dreaming about something. You need to be here, right? So that's that. That's the lesson for this time, right? The next chapter is going to be about the power pursuit, and that's going to be cool because we're playing with a lot of power, all right? So now, anything else before I reveal what the next book's going to be? I'm sure you're all kind of thinking, what has he got in mind? And is that going to be a good book? Have I read that book? And some of you have suggested. Let me see if it's ready. Let me see if it's here in my, yeah, it's here. So, anything else on this before I reveal the new book? Allow multi-pin. I don't know what's happening with the pinning. So here's the new book. Here's what we're gonna read next. This is a book that's really dear to me. It's really, really incredible. It's As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. It's not a big book, but it's a very powerful book. It really is gonna get you to do some things you've probably never done before, think some things you've never thought before, and we will do a piece of it next week. We'll do the last chapter of it next week because I want to give you like a tease of what's it going to be like, how it's going to help you kind of fill some gaps in the thinking and of the mind, and because you're going through something physically, but this one really teaches. It's all mind work, all mind work. And look, he's got stuff from Earl Nightingale. He's got stuff from Norman Vincent, all amazing people. It's a really, really good book. So it doesn't matter if you've read it. Doesn't matter if you have not. You don't have to buy it. I'm going to put it here. I will put it in the WhatsApp group to give you, if you know the exact version, what to buy. But and I will share the PDF with you as well. So that's kind of the next book. Cool beans. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, if you can put the PDF in there, it's great because I like to make all my notes, print it and make all my notes. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
I will do that. How many here have read it, by the way? Let me go into a different view. Hold on. Raise your hand if you've read it. Let's see. Raise your hand. 1, 2. So I've read it, of course. All right. Cool, cool, cool. That's good. That's good. That's a good ratio. All right. Let's read it as well. Awesome. So, very nice. Just heard parts of it. Okay, yeah. We are gonna do the last chapter of it. So all right, we got a couple minutes left. I want to give a chance to Sandra if she wants to say hello. And Zinat's trainer. We haven't heard from Zinat trainer because he's also amazing. He's got like 4 books. He's got so much discipline. I could see him in the gym. I'm probably too scared to have him as a coach for fitness. So what was your take on this chapter?
Junaid.
Junaid, that's a beautiful name, Junaid.
Hi, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
to hear your take on what we read and what we're doing here, or what can you share with the group? Because I see some of your stuff online, and I saw a couple
Yeah,
posts that you
yeah.
uh would love
I
to
guess
hear your voice.
I guess for me is um I've got to the stage where comfortability set in, and
Mm,
so I really want to go to the next level, but there's a fear, possibly even of success, that I'm fearing to take that step and to become uncomfortable, to do
mm,
things that's going to challenge me. Basically, I
mm.
can see the end, and I can see where I am, but the fear of unknowing how to get to the end is the fear for me. What this is telling me is got to take when you get to the doorway of fear. What do you have? Nothing. But in order to get to the doorway, you fear gets to you. So I guess I've got to just step inside fear. And what do I have in front of me? Nothing. Nothing to fear. Then at that point, that's where I think I can take the quantum leap.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the one sentence that comes to me from this lesson is that risk believing in yourself and just take,
Yeah.
way we're going to break through the fear is lesson 7 that we've got, is to break through the fear by taking the biggest step you can take. If you take the smallest step, you're minimizing your result of quantum leap. You got to take that as big as you can without wiping yourself out. Like, nobody here needs to wipe themselves out. Nobody here needs to bet on the stock market with everything they got. Nobody needs to bet on a coach with like breaking the bank. Nobody here needs to go into a franchise that you can afford. But you got to take a bet. You got to risk. You know, so chapter 7, if you have TIR, the terror barrier would help. And in this lesson, risk in believing in yourself, that comes with self-image of what success looks like and who's got that you want and what do they do and how do they feel, and live with the picture for a little bit and do it every
Yeah.
day, every day.
Yeah. So do you choose someone in your mind's eye, someone in the public who is where you want to be, and try to look at what they're doing and try and take that leap there?
Yeah, absolutely. When I teach the clients the purpose, vision, and goal, one of the 5-page essay that we write is, who are the 4 or 5 people in the world that you want to be like? Who are the people that you want to speak like? Who are the people that you want to be rich like? Who are the people that you want to walk like? And then, okay, what do they do? How do they look? How do they act? And you write those characteristics in what I call like a self script. And it's lesson 5, the self image in TIR. And then, I picked 4 when I did this exercise, and now I have a 3-page letter that I read every so often. And every time I go through this lesson, I reread it, rewrite it. And these are things that makes me proud, things that makes me feel good if I have them, things that makes me feel good if others think that I have them, that for whatever reason in my mind still, we don't want to care what others say, but sometimes we feel we need to have some things that makes others think about us. So if that helps you, that helps you.
Sure.
So yeah, you have to pick these 4 or 5 people. Purpose, vision, and goals is
Yeah.
huge. It's also available on my YouTube channel. That lesson is a 2-hour lesson
Okay.
that we go through the exercise of how to do it.
How to make this move quicker? What do you suggest to make where you want to be move quicker?
Discipline that you want it and demanding it. So you got to write it down, and then you got to do the work of the studying of this material that I'm talking about, and then whatever action come to you. I had somebody this week. He's been wanting this week it actually happened. He's been wanting to buy a house for 15 years, never bought it. I gave him one exercise to do. He went and he did it. 3 days later, he came back. He said, "I put the offer. We're closing in 15 days." So you have to figure out what's holding you back and brew it. And I don't know what it is for you, Junaid. Something is not letting it. But we have to unlock it. You have to unlock it by
Mm-hmm.
relaxing, getting into the image of it, and we can chat offline to see
Mm-hmm.
if one of the letters that I have, one of the
Mm-hmm.
chapters, or something else. We're gonna have a one-to-one and see where it goes.
I think
But yeah,
going,
this gentleman,
going
15
back,
years, never bought a thing, scared, has the money, has the profit, never done it. This week he did it. He's closing on a property. So
going back to what you were
everybody's different.
before about the comfort zone, I keep thinking of the Nike slogan. Remember, just do it. So when you come to that edge of your comfort zone, just do it. I mean, obviously I need to work on it, right? But once you identify what makes you uncomfortable, I think then that's when you just do it. You just have to do it without thinking about it.
I guess that makes sense. Once you know what's stopping you from doing it and it's talking you out not doing it, that's what you should do.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. The thing that you think you don't want to do is what you have to do, and that's where discipline comes in. And you have
Yeah.
discipline in many other areas, but there's this one area that's bothering you. So
Yes.
it's like sometimes it's like that. Like the thing that we think is holding us back and that we need help with is the thing that we need to learn and study and grow and
Yeah.
get the outside help to make us pull, right? To
Yeah.
speed it, you have to think bigger. So that's what this
Right.
quantum leap is teaching us. If you keep doing just what you know, it's linear growth. We want a quantum leap.
Yeah.
And once you reframe, this is from Dr. Ben, by the way. Nancy just reminded me of him this week. Once you reframe your goal as a much bigger goal, the little ideas will go away and you're going to know what to do. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of ways to grow a business, but what is for at
Yeah.
1,000 times, not at 100 times or 10 times.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take more Ali, and then we're going to close up. Ali.
Oh, one thing that affected me about the book that Sinead, you reminded me of is the willingness to lead, to risk the fall, like Zinat eloquently described, and
Mm.
and and the alignment, like Kimberly described, uh, uh, I think opens new doors to opportunity. So I think so many of us feel like we'll be overwhelmed. How are we going to handle it all? And somehow we're not alone. We get help. We don't have to figure it all out. And success, if that's what you picture in your day, it comes ease, and you're a light for people, and it continues to grow. Like Kamal said, you don't have to go it alone. That's
Yeah,
that's what
that's the part. Once you study some of this material and you discipline yourself on a daily basis for 30 days, Junaid or anybody here, you will expand. And once you expand and the subconscious clicks, the opportunity will come as to what to do next. Like we don't know what
Sure.
to do next, but we need to mentally expand. How do you expand? Repetition,
Yes.
studying something that's going to help you break through,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to do it over 2 days, 3 days, 10 days, 20 days.
Yeah.
For me, it takes about 40 days to 20 days to build a new habit. So for you, it depends on, you have a lot of discipline because of your fitness. So it could be huge. It could be
Mm.
quick.
Yes.
It was wonderful seeing everybody today. Have a fantastic week. Kim has to go. Thank you all
Yes.
so much.
Cheers.
Thanks for being patient.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting
Cheers.
others.
Thank you.
Coming back, and we'll talk soon.
Sure.
All right.
Cheers.
Great. Yes.